Hey, what's up guys? Thank you for tuning in with Bert J. Today we have a Nissan Altima 2014 and we're going to be testing the battery. So you just want to go ahead and put your positive to your positive lead and your negative to your negative lead. And this battery tester here, it's a Bosch. It's a battery tester. It's a type BAT135 and the part number is listed right there. And basically this is just going to tell you the voltage as the screen starts up. So it's going to tell me that I have 12.64 volts, which is normal. That's actually pretty good. But this battery tester is pretty good because it tells you the actual code cranking amps while it's tested, and it will tell you if it's good or bad. So we're going to go ahead and test it. So essentially we'll hit enter here. We know that the battery voltage is 12.63 volts. What type of battery is it? It's regular liquid. This is a regular liquid battery. It's not a gel, and it's not an AGM, and it's not AGM flat. So we're going to go ahead with regular liquid type. And now we're going to go ahead and select the code cranking amps. This one doesn't have it on there because it's old, but roughly these are between 550 and 650 code cranking amps. So I'm going to go right in between, and I'm going to select 600. If you wanted to up the code cranking amps, you obviously hit the directional to the right. If you wanted to lower it, you hit the directional to the left. So we're going to go with 600 code cranking amps and see if this battery is good. Off the assumption of the visual inspection, I think this battery is probably bad. So let's go ahead and test. Yep, it's above 32 Fahrenheit. In this case, the screen does turn red. If it's bad, if it's good, it's going to turn green and say good. So in this case, it's bad and it needs to be replaced. So the voltage was 12.6 volts, but the code cranking amps for this particular battery was 407, my apologies, which is below the recommended code cranking amps for this particular vehicle. So in that case, I'm going to go ahead and replace this battery. The neat thing about this battery tester is you can actually print it out. So if you have a business setting, you can go ahead and print it. So you hit enter again, enter one more time. You can select no to not print or yes to print. Tell you here, this is a simple battery test. Bad replace, voltage 12.60, code cranking amp 600, it measured 406. The state of the health of the battery is 67%, while the charge of the battery is 100. So in that case, unfortunately, this battery is somewhat healthy, but not completely healthy. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and we'll replace it. Alright, so since this battery is bad, we're going to go ahead and remove it. Before we can remove the battery, we need to remove the battery tray. So we're going to go ahead and remove at least one side to loosen up the battery free. Once you loosen up one side, the other side should be able to be manipulated to come off. So I'm going to loosen this 10 millimeter. You'll need a deep socket, not a short socket. So this 10, and this 10 right here, which connects to the ECU bracket. So 1, 2, 3, go ahead and disconnect those, and don't forget your battery terminals as well. You got your 10 here and your 10 here, so we'll loosen them up and then I'll show you how to remove it and replace it. Alright, we have cracked them loose. The negative terminal came out pretty easy, came out very freely. The positive did not come out so easily. As you can see, it's corroded and it's filled with crud. So that's pretty nasty, and sometimes it's hard to release that terminal from the stud of the battery. So what I had to do was essentially stick the screwdriver here and start banging right in the middle. As it was in here, you kind of got to get a small screwdriver and bang it loose and kind of pry back and forth until it comes loose. So essentially you'll try and do that, bang it a few times, pry at it, bang it a few times, pry at it, and just make sure that this bolt is loosened enough for you to go ahead and pry away at it. If not, you're going to be prying all day. So with that said, we have those off. We have these bolts off. Here's the bracket, so we'll put this bracket aside. This is good, so now we can remove this. We should be able to turn a certain way for you to go ahead and remove it. It just loops down on the bottom of the battery. You gotta finagle it, and then eventually it'll come out, and then we can remove the battery. Okay guys, I lied to you. You do have to take off all the bolts. So go ahead and take the 3 off of that side and the 1 off of this one. So you are able to, normally it's a hook and it just hooks into the bottom of there, but it seems like I can't get it off of this particular vehicle, but that's fine. Just go ahead and unscrew it and you should be able to be on your way. So as you can see, it's just a hook and it hooks into a hole, and then it just basically holds it down with that nut. So with that said, that is good to go. We'll push those aside. We have our new battery here, a 35 battery, and we'll go ahead and we'll put it in now. Alright, so we're going to connect the battery cables. We have the battery in. So normally when you disconnect the battery, you disconnect the negative first and the positive. And when you're installing the battery, you want to put the positive first, then the negative. So we'll do that now. Go ahead and put that positive on. Wiggle it down, and then we'll tighten it up with the 10mm. Alright, same thing with the negative. Go ahead and wiggle that negative as low as you can, and then we're just going to install the bracket, you know, those 10mm, and we'll install everything back on how we found it, and that should be it. So let me do that now. Alright, now that we put everything back the way we found it, it is good to go. Your new battery is installed, and that is it. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, and subscribe.